The idea that space can bend is a result of the application of theoretical physics. It is based on arguments of if hypothesis A is true, then hypothesis B must be true. Hypothesis A refers to the geodesic behavior of light. In other words, light always travels the shortest distance from one point to another. Hypothesis B is the conclusion that gravity bends space. However, hypothesis A seems to be contradicted by an important observation of the effect that a big mass in space has on light. 4 galaxies have been observed to be tightly spaced evenly around a circle by a deep space telescope. When these galaxies were examined closely, it was found that they looked exactly the same. It is so unlikely to find 4 galaxies that look exactly the same, so close together, that it can be said that the galaxies are not 4 different galaxies, but rather the same galaxy observed 4 times. This conclusion is not only drawn from the fact that they look the same, but it is also extremely strange that, if they were 4 different galaxies, the gravitational force between them isn't caused the 4 galaxies to crash into each other. A reasonable explanation would be that there is something between us, the observer, and the galaxy which has some effect on the light that travels past it. One quick note on the gameplay in this video is that there are notes in the middle and to the right that highlight how the large amount of people in this server. It's a 9 versus 9 server. I'm not sure if it's full the entire time. What effect that has on how random a game is. So in the first half of this game, I go on a very long kill streak, and then in the second half of the game, I keep on dying. Light behaves most strangely of anything else in everyday life. It has been mentioned that light bends around large masses. However, many experiments have concluded that light is not affected by gravity. So how can light be bent by a large mass, if not by gravity? Gravity, as well as acting as a force between any 2 masses, has an effect on space itself. In fact, it is said to bend space. It has been stated that the reason that gravity acts as an attractive force between 2 masses is because it bends space, which can be understood as that a plane, one 2-dimensional part of the space we live in, is affected by a mass, as though a large stone has been placed on a piece of cloth. If a marble is placed near the stone on the cloth, its natural tendency is to roll towards the large stone, which is similar to the natural tendency of objects to fall towards the earth. An important property of light is that it follows a geodesic path from one point to another, which means that it travels the shortest distance between 2 points. It is also said that the speed of light is fastest speed any object can travel. This comes from observations that the measured speed of light in a vacuum is constant no matter the setting, even if the speed of light is measured in a spaceship that travels at the speed of light. However, an outside observer was to look inside the shuttle. They would observe that the light would be traveling at the speed of light. These 2 statements can be combined. The statement that it's impossible for anything to reach a point faster than light can. They both start at the same point. For instance, the object competing with light starts at the source of light. Here a contradiction between 2 statements. The first observation was that light bends around large masses. The second statement would contradict that, as light follows a geodesic path. So theoretically, it would be possible to get from one point in space to another before a light would arrive. For instance, a light source is placed at some distance away from a large mass, and a space shuttle that travels near the speed of light starts to travel in a straight line towards the target, which the path of the light meets the path of the space shuttle. If the mass is large enough, the space shuttle could arrive at the target faster than the light, since its path is shorter than the path of light, assuming that gravity has an effect on light rather than an effect on space, as it is being bent by the large mass, which means that it follows a path that is longer than the direct path. But previously, we have established that this is impossible. The statement of light following a geodesic path through space is a recurring statement because it is the critical step towards understanding space itself has to be bent so that our observation here on Earth, with observations that we make in other parts of the universe. If we say that space itself bends, light still travels the shortest possible distance between 2 points. Its path is still geodesic. If this thought is continued, a question might arise. What if a mass is very large? There are several real settings where mass is very large, such as a black hole. It is said that a gravitational force is so strong that the escape velocity from a black hole is larger than the speed of light. Therefore, light cannot escape through a black hole. But light is not affected by gravity, so how can this statement be true? For this we can go back to an earlier statement, that gravity bends space. It can be concluded that the intensity of gravity bends space infinitely. In other words, space curves back on itself. Thus we can say that light cannot escape the black hole because space is bent to such a degree that light does not go anywhere. However, light still travels at the speed of light. This can be understood as that the direction of the speed of light is constantly reversed, so it is still traveling at the speed of light, but it does not go anywhere. Light is not affected by gravity, which is a conclusion that has been drawn from experiment, but it has been observed that large masses can have an effect on it. Since light always follows the geodesic path between 2 points, it can be concluded and proven that gravity bends space. So, most PC games have dedicated servers, and whilst that is a desirable thing for connection, it may not be desirable for the gameplay. If you go into a Black Ops server browser today,